Welcome to Talkin' Shit, the podcast where we get real about the unfiltered truths women face in the quest for perfection. I'm Jana, your host, a dietitian and fellow woman navigating the pressure to have it all together, the perfect body, career, relationships, and making it all look effortless. Who set that standard anyway? Here, we're calling out the diet fads, hustle culture, beauty standards, and everything else that keeps us feeling stuck. But we're not just venting, we're diving into how to break free and rewrite the rules on your terms. So, grab a coffee or a glass of wine and let's talk some shit. Together, we'll uncover how to live a life that's unapologetically yours. This is Talkin' Shit. Let's dive in. Hi, everyone. Welcome back to the podcast. This is Jana, your host. I'm going to be switching things up for the next few episodes with some solo podcasts where I speak openly about the stuff most people avoid. Typically, these topics might feel a little bit uncomfortable or we really haven't thought about it in this way as it relates to you learning to care for yourself. But when we bring these to light, it really creates an opportunity and space for more healing, more release, and a reconnection with your body. And it's something that I experienced in my own journey with losing 50 pounds and keeping it off. And it's also what I see in the stories of my coaching clients. And I call this the soul work for weight loss. So if you've ever found yourself wondering, why can't I lose the weight? Or why do I keep gaining it back? Or why do I feel stuck? Like no matter how hard I try, it just never lasts. Well, I want to then pull you into this conversation. And I want to share with you that it has nothing to do with the food. It has nothing to do with the right workouts. And it has nothing to do with your metabolism being broken. What's often keeping you stuck is what's going on underneath it all. So today I'm going to walk through 4 of the biggest hidden blocks that sabotage lasting weight loss. And spoiler alert, it has nothing to do with willpower or calories. It's really about your boundaries, your self-worth, the guilt you carry for prioritizing yourself, and the all or nothing mindset that quietly steals your progress. So let's dive in. Let's start with one of the biggest hidden blocks to lasting weight loss, a lack of boundaries. So here is the hard truth. If you don't intentionally protect your time, energy, and priorities, someone else will claim them for you. It's not usually out of malice, it's simply human nature. People will always have needs, invitations, favors, distractions, and if you don't have clear boundaries, your own goals will slowly slide down the priority list without you even realizing it. I see it happen all the time. In my own life, in the lives of the women that I support in their journey to losing weight and reclaiming their own bodies again, is you plan to meal prep, but a last minute request from work or family throws you off track. You scheduled that workout, but you feel guilty turning down a friend's invite, or you've been at work all day and you want to be around your kids because they haven't seen you and you haven't seen them. So you cancel it. You intend to get more sleep, but stay up helping someone else because you don't want to let them down. Or that nighttime is really just the time that you have for yourself to decompress. So little by little, your health goals get pushed aside. Not because you aren't capable and not because you aren't motivated, but because without those strong boundaries, your consistency is always at risk. And when it comes to true sustainable weight loss, consistency always beats perfection every single time. So it's not about crushing a perfect week. It's about stacking enough small, consistent actions over time that they create that real momentum. And without boundaries to protect that consistency, your progress will always feel fragile. It will always feel like it can shift. It will always feel like it can change. You'll always feel like you can't really trust yourself. So these boundaries, they aren't selfish. They're the invisible shield that allows you to actually follow through on the life you say you want. They give you space to take care of yourself so you can show up stronger for everyone and everything else. So ask yourself these questions. Where am I consistently putting others' needs ahead of my own at the cost of my health? Number 2, where do I need to say no? Not because I don't care about others, but because I care enough about myself to honor my commitments to me. The second major block for lasting weight loss, outside of boundaries, is the lack of self-worth and self-trust. So we spend so much time talking about our relationship with other people, our families, our partners, our friends, our coworkers. We pour energy into navigating those relationships, fixing them, nurturing them, fighting for them. But what we rarely stop to think about is the relationship at the core of it all. And that is the relationship you have with yourself. So when I started doing what I now call self-relationship work, two things hit me, and they hit me pretty hard, I will say. First is, honestly, it blew my mind to realize that, wait, I actually have a relationship with myself. That was number one. I was like, heaven forbid. Oh, okay, that makes sense. And I had never really thought of it in that way because I had always been taught about the relationship outwardly, but I had never been taught about the internal relationship I had with me. So second, once I really looked at that, I realized my relationship with myself was not a healthy one. It was not built on trust, it was not built on respect, and it certainly was not built on care. What it was built on, though, were broken promises I made to myself. So I would say one thing and do another. It was built on harsh, really harsh, unforgiving self talk that I would never say to someone that I loved. And it was built on a constant habit of giving my time, energy, and attention to everyone else and leaving nothing for myself. I was showing up for everyone except the one person I spend every second of my life with, which was me and which is you. And when you think about it in that way, if you had a relationship with another person where they broke their promises, criticized you constantly, and never made you feel like a priority, you'd probably call that relationship toxic. You'd see it as draining, unsustainable, unhealthy. Yet when it comes to the relationship we have with ourselves, we rarely call it out for what it is. So let's peel back that layer even more, because this is where the deep soul identity work begins. At the root of my self-sabotage, or maybe if you are resonating with this, your self-sabotage, my frustration, my stuckness, was the belief that I wasn't worthy. I did not believe I deserved my own time outside of the roles, the responsibilities, and the labels that I had. So the role of being an employee, or the role of being a friend, or the role of being a daughter, a sister, an aunt, you name it. I didn't believe I deserved my own time out of those roles, responsibilities, or labels. And I didn't believe I was allowed to take care of myself without feeling guilty, because there was always something more important to do, AKA something always more important than me to do. I didn't believe I was worthy of my own love, energy, and attention, because somewhere around along the way, I learned that taking time for myself was selfish. So not only was caring for myself, did guilt set in big time, but I also thought that taking time for myself was just something that a very selfish woman would do. Heaven forbid I had my own needs, and heaven forbid I wanted to feel good in my own skin. So that belief system bled into everything: my health, my habits, my emotions, my ability to stick with anything that was just for me. Because if you don't believe you're worthy of care, you'll keep abandoning yourself, even when you say you want to change. So here's the truth. Self-trust isn't built by making giant leaps. It's built by keeping tiny promises to yourself every single day. This actually gets into why I started my walking challenge. So if you're following me on Instagram or if you followed me on my newsletter, you know that I am currently over 800 plus days into a walking challenge that was only supposed to be 1 year, but it was my sign to myself that I won't forget you. So for me, it started with that simple, easy, and I'm air quoting those things, goal of walking. I made a commitment to walk every single day that was just for me to keep that promise to myself. So that turned into 1 week. That week turned into a month. And now we are well over 800 plus days in a row. And it's no longer just about the steps. It's about the message that I am sending to myself every single day. The message of, I see you, I honor you, I will not abandon you. It's refusing to put yourself at the bottom of every single list in your life. And no, it doesn't mean you have to be number one in every moment. This idea that, oh, you're number one, that's a selfish narrative. But can we put you on your own priority list to where you are part of your priorities and responsibilities for the day? Because that is your responsibility. Because the life is full of real responsibilities, and not every day are you going to be number one, but you can still be part of your priority list and you can still not forget about you. And that whole self-worth piece, it's not something you earn once you lose that weight or hit that goal. It's something you choose to live from right now, before the goal, before the achievement, before the outside validation. You were always worthy. You just forgot that, or you were taught otherwise. But today you get to remember, and today you can start building a relationship with yourself based on that trust, based on that respect, and based on that love, instead of the guilt, shame, and abandonment. So taking care of yourself isn't selfish, it's actually self-full. It's the foundation for everything that you want to build. And when you rebuild the relationship you have with yourself, your health, your goals, your confidence, they stop feeling like a constant uphill battle, because now you're no longer fighting against yourself, you're actually fighting for yourself. And that changes everything. Okay, so we talked about the boundaries. We talked about the self-worth aspect that certainly goes into you also trusting yourself. But we also started to highlight, or I started to highlight this idea of that selfishness or that guilt that really creeps in. And so I wanted to spend a little bit more time on that. So many women have shared with me that they are carrying this silent guilt around with the idea of them taking care of themselves. So from a young age, many women have been taught directly and or indirectly that being a good woman, a good daughter, a good partner, a good mom means being available to everyone else first. It's helping, serving, giving, doing, always putting other needs ahead of your own. And somewhere along the way, we women, also men have actually shared this with me as well. But generally speaking, more women will resonate with this. Somewhere along the way, we internalize this idea that prioritizing ourselves is selfish, that carving out time for rest, for nourishment, because heaven forbid you take your lunch break, or joy somewhere makes us less good, less committed, or even less loving. But can we just pause here and really think about this? If you are running yourself into the ground, constantly feeling tired, frustrated, angry, upset, and don't feel good about yourself, are you really serving others in your life, or are you part of the problem? You are not giving them the best version of you. And I say this with so much love and compassion and kindness because I have definitely been here too. But let's wake up to this. Let's call ourselves up. You are not giving them the best version of you. You're giving them what's left over. You're giving them the exhausted, the irritable, the overwhelmed version of you. And no one, not your family, your career, your relationships, you truly benefit from you running on empty. Prioritizing yourself is not selfish. It's necessary. And it's one of the most generous things that you can do for the people that you love. Because when you take care of yourself, when you protect your energy, when you nourish your body, when you honor your needs, you show up differently. You show up with more love, more patience, more creativity, more presence. You become the version of you that your people need most, not the shell of you that just is barely hanging on. And here's something else we don't talk about enough. When you prioritize yourself, you're also teaching everyone around you, especially your kids, what it looks like to live a life of balance, of health, of self respect. You're giving them permission to value themselves too. Because self neglect is not a badge of honor. And it doesn't mean that you're a better person if you are giving always to others. It just makes you more burned out, more resentful, and more disconnected from yourself. So I want to invite you to really reflect on this today. Where did you learn that self-care was selfish? Whose voice, maybe from years ago, is still living rent-free in your mind, telling you it's wrong to choose yourself? And how would your life, and maybe your family's life, actually improve if you felt better in your own body, in your own mind, and in your own heart? So, taking time for yourself isn't taking away from anyone else, it's making you stronger for everyone else. You cannot pour from an empty cup. But when you fill yourself up first, you're able to pour out love, energy, wisdom, and joy from a place of fulfillment, not survival. And that shift really changes everything for you and for the people that you say you love most. And finally, I want to talk about something that I see sabotage more health goals than almost anything. Well, I don't know. All of these are pretty impactful and they show up in different ways for each person. But one of the things that many of my coaching clients have shared with me is that they struggle with the all or nothing thinking or the black or white thinking. And there's really no middle ground. There's no shades of gray. So you know exactly really what I'm talking about because it sounds like if I can't do the whole workout, why bother at all? Or I already had one cookie, might as well blow the whole thing and I'm going to finish 12. Or I messed up, I'll just start fresh on Monday. That is what the all or nothing mindset sounds like. And this mindset traps you in a constant cycle of extremes. You're either perfect or you're a failure. You're either all in or you're completely out. And when you live in that extreme space, it feels like you're either sprinting or collapsing. There's no steady pace or sustainable pace that's in between. But sustainable weight loss and sustainable health actually lives in the middle. It lives in the gray. It's not built on perfect weeks, flawless diets, or punishing workout routines. It's built on the small, imperfect choices you make consistently over time. It's choosing the 20-minute walk instead of skipping exercise altogether because you couldn't do the full hour. It's having a cookie, enjoying it mindfully, and then moving on, not spiraling into guilt and shame. It's letting a less than perfect meal be just that. It's one meal instead of an excuse to abandon yourself for the next 3 days. Consistency beats perfection every single time. And consistency is found in the middle, in the gray, in the balance. The all or nothing thinking is really a lie that your brain tells you to keep you comfortable in the cycle you already are so familiar with. It tricks you into thinking that unless it's perfect, it's not worth it. Because then you don't have to face the discomfort of showing up messy, imperfect, or in progress. But showing up imperfectly is where real change happens. So, if the all or nothing mindset resonates with you, I want you to ask yourself these questions. Where am I waiting to be perfect instead of just choosing to be consistent? Or how could I show up for myself even when it's messy, imperfect, or inconvenient? Because if you only show up for yourself when conditions are perfect, you won't show up very often. Life is not perfect. Your schedule is not perfect. Your energy levels aren't perfect. And your health journey won't be either. And that's okay. You're human. Your power actually lies in learning to take the next small step forward. Even when the day didn't go as planned, even when you feel tired, even when you don't feel motivated enough. The more you show up when it's imperfect, the more you build that real resistance and that resilience that is necessary to move your goals forward. So today I want to challenge you. Let's let go of that fantasy of being perfect. None of us are. And let's choose to be consistent instead. Because the middle ground, the messy, beautiful, imperfect middle is where your transformation actually happens. So if you've been struggling to lose weight and keep it off, look deeper than just the food and the fitness plan. Ask yourself, where do I need stronger boundaries? Where do I need to build self-trust and self-worth? Where do I need to release the guilt around prioritizing myself? And where am I still trapped in the all or nothing thinking that's holding me back? Weight loss is never just about the weight. It's about the relationship you have with yourself. When you heal that, the body follows. So, thank you for hanging out with me today. If today's episode hits home for you, please take a second to share it with your friends and leave a review. I would love to continue this conversation. You can send me an email or you can connect with me on Instagram. It really helps this message reach more women if you can also share it, maybe with a friend that could resonate with this as well. Until next time, keep going because you are worth it.
This has been Talkin' Shit. If you like this episode, please give it a thumbs up or leave a review on the Apple Podcast app. If you want more episodes, click that subscribe button. And if you want to learn more, visit healthwins.org. Talkin' Shit is produced and hosted by me, Jana. This production is also made possible by the Community Media Access Collaborative. Learn more at cmac.tv. See you next time.